Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my houseplant tour. I'm going to be showing you all of the plants that are currently living in my bedroom. So this is going to be a part one. I have about 50-ish plants that live here in my room, and I'm going to be showing you all the plants on this lovely IKEA shelf that I installed a couple weeks ago. So I'm super excited to just show you my collection in general. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. This is my golden pothos. Talked about it about a million times. I also have a video showing you how I repotted it. It is in a 10-inch terracotta pot and sits nicely there. Right next to it is my Monstera addisonii wide leaf. One of my favorites as well. It's one of two. I have a Cebu blue here and then another over here, and yeah, they're just soaking up some sun. I tend to switch out my plants in this area to just give some sunlight to plants. This is my bunny ear cactus. It has some new growth, as you can see, and I just leave her here 100% of the time. So that's this little planty corner. Okay guys, so I'm going to go ahead and show you my hanging plants. This is my marble queen, and I have it hanging in a macrame hanger. This is a string of bananas that I picked up at Home Depot's and like one of my first vlogs ever. And it's so backlit, I'm not sure you'll be able to see, but this is my string of hearts. Hopefully I can get you a better view. This is my string of hearts. I'll just have to do that. So yeah, those are all the plants that are in this corner, and then we can move on to the shelf. So I'll just give you a quick overview of the shelf because this is where I have majority of my plants. This is an IKEA shelf. And yeah, so let's get right into it. The two that I have on top are both the same plants. So this is a heartleaf philodendron. This one is a really full basket that I took a bunch of cuttings from, and then this is my second one that trails down quite a bit and it ends there. Okay, so let's just start off with this one. This is probably the shelf where I keep majority of the Hoyas, just because they're closer to the grow light. So this is a Hoya Crimson Queen, and it is pretty long. It has finally given me some new growth, so I'm very happy about that. Plant back there is a Hoya Compacta. And then this right here is a Trazoscandia Nanook. I also have a Hoya Curtsii, which is doing okay, to be honest. Right here in this little terracotta pot is actually a baby Cebu blue, and it's not really working out how I thought it would, but I'm just gonna keep her there until she dies. That plant back there is a Hoya Carrii. This plant is a Hoya Obovata Splash that I just showed in my recent November plant tour. No, November plant haul. And then I also showed this plant in my November plant haul. That is the Trazoscandia Nanook 4-inch one. This first plant up here in all its glory is the Silvery Ann. I've also talked about this one on my channel before, and she just has a ton of new growth. Plant back there is going to be the Scindapsus Pictus Splash. She has 2 new leaves also coming out. And then this is my Philodendron Micans. I also have a string of hearts propagating back there. And you can see all the new growth that's coming out. So exciting. Okay, so we're going to move on to the second level on the shelf. This plant here on the far left is the Crinkle 8 Hoya. This one right here is a Hoya Compacta. It's just a smaller version. And then this plant back here was the main star, the one on the left from my November plant haul. This is a Monstera siltepecana. And then let me come around this way. And this beautiful plant right here is my Scindapsus pictus exotica. I had a 4-inch pot and I bought cuttings off of Etsy from someone and I added them in. So now she's in a 5-inch pot. This is the white variegated Traziscandia Nanook. So this is my philodendron Moonlight. Yes, my philodendron Moonlight. Okay, so right next to the Moonlight philodendron is a burro's tail or donkey's tail succulent. Then right next to that is my Calathea rattlesnake, and she's glowing a little bit because I literally just gave her a neem spray down, neem oil spray down. So her leaves are really shiny right now. And then back here I have a couple of just regular jade pothos propagating. And then behind is my Calathea pinstripe. She has seen better days, to be honest. She was infested with spider mites twice and just never fully recovered. But that is the second shelf. Okay, so moving on, this is my Monstera addisonii narrow leaf version. So there is a wide leaf and then a narrow leaf, and I just love her. Beautiful. This right here, I don't know how to say the scientific name, but I will have it here on the screen, is a Monstera addisonii. I'm just going to call it Fred because I can't pronounce the whole entire name, but has 2 new leaves coming out, and I just love these tiny little holes right here. Oh my gosh, beautiful. Right next to it, this is actually the bottom half of this cutting. So I'm propagating it. This was the one that didn't do too good, but it's also a Traziscandia Nanook. And then right back there is my Monstera Peru. I recently put it into terracotta, gave it a moss pole, and as you can see, it has a new growth point. So excited about that. Here is my philodendron brandy cuttings, just gorgeous. She's also put out 2 new growth points, so I'm super excited about that. Okay, we're on the other side of the 3rd level. So this is a Rapidophora tetrasperma. This is actually just one of the cuttings that I have. I have about 3 other cuttings in water still. Their roots grow extremely slow. This is a Pilea peperomia. I got it as a tiny little puppy, and it's still tiny, but it has grown so much since then. And then right here, front and center, is another Scindapsus pictus argyrius. Right next to it is a tiny cutting of a heartleaf philodendron. I just had a moment where I liked making mini plants, so there you go. This is a starfish sansevieria that I have, and I just love it. It is a little oddly shaped, but nonetheless, I like it. And then back there is another heartleaf propagation. And then we'll move on to the last and final shelf. This is a Calathea Freddy, I believe. You can see those back leaves are not as pretty as these front leaves. I had a couple of lessons to learn with this plant. Right next to it is it's an alocasia, but the other part of it is not coming to me, but I'll leave it on the screen. And then this is I believe now that this is a snow queen. I don't think it is a marble queen pothos. I think it's a snow queen, based on the percentage of white, but it's pretty full and just hangs out back there. And then this is a cutting of the Maranta that I'm about to show you guys. Okay, so just to show you again, this is the overview of this shelf where I keep majority of my plants. I also do have grow lights, so they get some west facing sun, not as much as they did during the summer. and then they get majority artificial light now. So moving on over here, I have a Maranta. I don't really know like what the official name is of it because I've seen different kinds, but this is my Maranta, and I already propagated a stem because it's grown so much. Right next to it on the bottom shelf is my Brazil philodendron, and it's pretty bushy and long. It's gonna need a new spot soon because I just keep squishing all the leaves when I put it down. I believe this is an 8-inch terracotta. And then these are some sad Scindapsus cuttings that I'm trying to propagate. Right next to it is some lemon lime philodendron propagating. Here is a Enjoy or Pearls and Jade because I can't tell the difference. So if you want to leave it down in the comments below what that one is, let me know. Has also struggled a little bit. It was my fault, okay? But this is my Mandula pothos. Let me take it out for all its glory. It has some really big leaves, some smaller leaves, but it just has a good variety in there. Like it has this giant green leaf and then that green leaf with a little bit of variegation. So I have finally learned how to care for this one. And then on the top shelf, excuse these are old grow lights. I have my Friedic. So this is my Alocasia Friedic that I think is going dormant because 3 of its leaves are leaving me. This is the most recent baby, but she's still a fan favorite. And then right next to it is some Zebrina transiscandia Nanook propagating, and then some Silvery Ann that's propagating. It had root rot, so I had to cut some of the plant off, but I think they should be good to go in a couple weeks. And then plants left are the plants that are on my wall. And this kind of changes every once in a while too. So this is my lemon lime philodendron. So full and luscious. So many new growths. The top of the plant is very lush. I did the bobby pin method in case anybody is curious. I think I have talked about that in a previous video and I'll leave it linked. Right next to it is my Scindapsus pictus argyris. I don't know how to say the name, but it's just a regular Scindapsus, and it has one part trailing. The rest of it isn't really there yet, but it's an OG favorite. This is, who knows, a Sansevieria Mikadu, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, I mean, not much to say about snake plants. The next plant is going to be a jade pothos that needs some watering. As you can tell, it's a little droopy. And yeah, last but not least, I'll show you my Moonshine Sansevieria. So this is my Moonshine Sansevieria. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but this one right here is a puppy. So super exciting. It's already given me 2 puppies, but this is actually like 2 Sansevierias in one pot, and I love it. It was a little bit of a learning curve because I thought it was just like every other Sansevieria, and it's not. But this is the view from this way. Look at that Friedic. Okay guys, so that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I am really happy with my collection at the moment. Of course, I'm always going to be adding. I might be taking away some plants once I fall out of love with them. But for the most part, this is my collection as of winter 2020. And let's just see how many more plants I buy and what my collection ends up being. So don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!